Good afternoon. It's Barbara sitting here in Denbigh, and I thought I would take a few minutes to update everyone on my fiber processing processes, etc., etc. So here, let's have a look. So I thought I'd start with just a long shot. There's my chair with my cushion where I sit to spin and watch the hummingbird come to the feeder. And then I thought I would show you the progress I'm making on this crochet blanket. This is one of Arna and Carlos's designs, and it's getting heavy to work on. I didn't use the lightweight like sock yarn sport weight. This is a little bit thicker, but for the most part, it's all hand spun from my stash. Let's see if I can keep my feet out of the picture, right? I think that bright pink was something else, and I'm not sure. I think the pink is probably the only one that wasn't hand spun. Oh, that purple up in the top corner. Ooh, wait, ooh, right there. That was just some acrylic I had in my stash, but everything else is hand spun except for the white that's holding it all together. So there's some dyed with Kool-Aid. So the orange is Kool-Aid, the yellow is yellow food coloring. Some of the others were commercially dyed, like the darker pink here, that was commercially dyed, and the same with this yellow. The yellow here and here came from Wool Interrupted last summer. That was part of theirs. The rag wool kind of thing here in this red, in the brown, also came from them in a solid, and then and the same here. I spun it up and then plied it with some merino that I had in my stash. So that's kind of where it's sitting right now, and I've been working a bit on it today. So I also wanted to talk a minute about my 1 year one outfit. So I'm gonna slide over to here, all the way over to here. So I've got one sock done, and this is the fiber for that. So this is, the base is from Local Sheep, and then I'm throwing in bits and pieces of color from my stash that I've had on hand. So you'll see some of that orange from the Kool-Aid that's in there. There's some different pieces of silk that are in there. I think that came from Upper Canada Village, some of the blue that you'll see there. So that is the first sock done. I'm currently working on the second sock, and this is the skip pattern that I found on Ravelry, and it's one of my favorites. This started out as a hat. This is my first attempt at a brioche item, and it was way too small, way too small. Done with the same fiber. So I decided I would make a project bag. So there you have it, with, whoa, the long strap to go over my shoulder to put my sock yarn in, or my short spindle in. I could do that. So that's still going pretty well for me. And then here is a sweater that I'm working on. Now this will be a short sleeve sweater for the summer. Not that we need a lot of sweaters, but our basement, I believe, will be air conditioned, so I'll need something over my shoulders. And this is a top down, it's called Less is More, and you can find it in knitty.com. Issue, let me just see if I can see it here, issue W12, issue 12. It was a summer pattern, and it's Amy King's pattern. And she has outlined when to change the striping, but since this has been dyed and I'm applying it so it'll self-stripe to some degree, I'm not going to follow all of those pattern changes as far as the striping goes. This navy, so this is a Rambouillet, a French Merino from Ontario Sheep. And then I over-dyed it with Wilton's Purple. So then you get the color breakdown that you see here, right? This navy, which is what this is here, came from Upper Canada Village a number of years ago, and I'm using it as a contrast. And then this purple that I'm going to use as another stripe later on comes from the Canadian woolen mills out in Alberta that I purchased in Carleton Place at the Real Canadian Wool Shop. And I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So there you have my current works in progress. But wait, there's more. Let me see if I can move around here without turning things too much. Oh, there we go. I'm also working on another pair of socks. So this is Sockies from Lion Brand, wool nylon blend. And again, you know, my favorite skip pattern. Looks like there might have been a mistake in there. These are just for me, so I'm not too worried. So the same pattern as the other sock, but quite a few more stitches to go around. So I've been working on it a little bit while we've been sitting out on the deck, but I'm afraid if I drop one of the needles, it'll go below deck and I will never get it back. So I'm not working on it outside as much as I could be, but I was encouraged by Tracy, and I'll see if I can find the link for Tracy's video where she did a number of socks. I think there were 12 pairs of socks, and she's got 24, she's got 13 socks knit. And I thought, well, I can work on 2 pairs at one time, if not all of them. But I was really encouraged by that. So there you have my current works in progress. Currently spinning some of the Rambouillet. I hopefully bought enough for a short sleeve sweater, but I thought by adding in the striping, a solid contrast, that I will have enough for the whole thing. I still have little puff balls. Let me go over here of some that went into the brioche hat. And let me just see if I can grab my other project. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I was talking about what I've been working on for that brioche hat, and this was some of the leftovers. So it's a Granny's Wave face cloth or dishcloth, and I really, really like it. It's created by Slip Stitches, found it on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. Actually, this was done with some superwash that I purchased over a year ago, and spun it up and blended it on my Carter with what was already in the Carter, which was a mixture of colors. So there you have that. And I wasn't sure I'd like it, but as I've washed it, it's softening up. And then I have this dish towel, or dishcloth, and this is a 2-ply merino from Wool Interrupted that I purchased a year ago, December, as part of an Advent kit that they were selling. I do know from my own experience that this will felt. It'll shrink really well, I'm afraid. But I do like it. It's really, really soft. And again, this is a pattern that I was inspired to try from Tracy, and I really like it. It's very, very easy, and that worked up really quickly as well. So all of my work's in progress. There you have it. So other than packing and getting ready to move and doing what I normally do during a week for the ministries that I serve, now you also know what I'm doing with my fiber processing. I still have some raw fleece to process, and I'd like to process that before we move so that I'm not moving the dirty fleece around with me. So that's kind of still on the list as well. But we've gone through some changes here weather-wise, from being really hot to being cold, having no rain to having one downpour, watching the bluebirds, watching the hummingbird birds. There's a pair of them. Having a rabbit rodeo. We still have one rabbit running loose, two rabbits running loose, so we're trying to catch them in the evening. We just found out that our breeding stock is going to someone. Our cat is going to a new home. The cages will also be going. So it's all moving in a good direction. As soon as I can, as Diana in Denmark says, get off my kabuki and continue to pack, get things packed, get things taken to the dump and out to the curb so people can pick up what they'd like. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. Joy comes with the dawn, and I do believe that tomorrow will come whether I'm ready for it or not. The move will come whether I'm ready for it or not. Changes in life are normal. What I'm doing right now with my fiber work is keeping something quite normal for me, something that I can use as a touchstone, something that will ground me, that I enjoy doing without dredging up memories of things I'd like to be doing with folks around where we're living. So no matter what's going on in my life, I still have my knitting and my spinning and my fiber prep, and I have all of you. So thank you for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please do. Give the video a thumbs up if you're able, and I will check in with you again. But God bless. Bye.